Inflewence here, and today I got Thrust version 2.0, which is MPU-01. This is Masterpiece Ultra, and it's none of those things. It is a KO, of course, what we knew, but I kind of thought maybe it was DS, I think, but I don't think so. So we'll get into this. I'm just showing it on a stand. It does come with a stand, comes with a lot of accessories. Basically, I think the same accessories that came with the first version of the real Masterpiece. But I think this is based off of the newer legs. I have no idea, because I don't have any. I don't have, well, actually I have the old Masterpiece, the real old Masterpiece, but I don't have the newer one with the weird legs, or the new legs. All right, so let's just get into this.
Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
This right here, it is okay. Does have some issues, like the paint isn't the greatest. It's not bad, but it's just not the greatest paint, greatest materials. Like, it feels like a KO. Kind of feels like a real Masterpiece. I don't know what that says about Masterpiece, but it does feel like that. But some of the plastic choices, like the landing gear, this right here, the arms even right here, are like, it feels kind of brittle. Feels like brittle plastic. And maybe because it's not painted, maybe they use the same plastic for everything. But the jet does look cool. It has, you can put these things back here that look like thrusters. And in order to do so, you have to pull these all the way out, because you push them in for robot mode. So yeah, they go in. If they're in, there's a little piece in there. I was trying to pry that piece out. I wasn't sure because I don't think it says it in directions. But see, when you push it in, that piece is all the way there. If you can see that. And you can't insert this. So what you got to do is pull that out like that to get it the proper way for this. So let's just go over some accessories. You get two faces. You got a little scowl lip, and I guess a little scowl lip. I don't know. They kind of look similar. You have the null rays, but you know, the coneheads didn't have null rays. They had different type of blasters. So what they did was they have the null rays, but in order to, you can put it in his hand so you can use it as a gun. I don't think I've ever seen you pull this down. It's hard to get down, so I'm not gonna pull it down. No, you might have to pull this up. Or pull this down. No, I don't know. But move that down to get it into the wing, under the wing. Plug it into the front with this, or not this right here. You can have it plugged in like that. But in order to get this on top of this, you have to open up this thing, flip this around this way because the barrel goes in there. Then it makes it shorter. Then you can push that back down, and then you can put this up in here like this. There you go. And now you have your null rays, or your whatever it's called for them. There you go. You also get a stand that I showed a little bit. You just plug these two things. They come in separate pieces. Just put them together, but you actually can put them together any way that you want. And then you put this on top. This can go any way that you want if you stack it a different way. And also you can put this any way, and it comes with this part that is made to rest on there, so you can get the plane or the robot on that piece. And you have the instructions. Instructions were fine. They skipped some parts. They did some parts out of order. I think that's just the downsides of a company like this. But then again, shoot them some bail. A lot of companies don't have good directions. And you got a box. You can tell it's just the way it's made. You can tell that it's a KO. Now you can go to transformation. Well, let's just show a little bit. You got the cockpit. There are seats in here, but it's folded down. Cockpit folded down, seats. You got landing gear right here, right here, and right here. How they come up, you can, which they don't feel great, but move that out. Then you pull it up, but I'm putting it back in. So then you close that, close that. Same thing over here. Move this up. Close that, close that, close that. Then this right here, you just open that and pull it out or close it like I did. So let's start the transformation. Super simple. Bend this up like this here. Put that in there. Bend this up. There's a tab on the end that tabs in right there. So tab that in. Push these up now just because they're going to need to go up. Move this right here out. You can peg it on now if you want. Move this out. Peg it on now. Then you can kind of, there's a peg underneath the wing. You want to move it down. Move it down. Then you can flip this, get this pegged on a little better. Flip that around. There's a hole right there that goes in the peg right there. Just peg that. And you can move this down as well. Does get in the way a little bit, but what you're going to do, move this down as well. Close this cockpit, close the seat, put the cockpit in. Move these right here out a little bit and pull them up because there's a peg there. This is pegged into each other. And that's good. Move that all the way up. Then you can move this all the way around like this. If you can't see, again, same over here. Move that up, move this up, move this around here like that. Then move this up. And you can get this, pull this back. And it tells you to bend the legs. I don't know if you should right now because it's hard to get. Well, no, you can do it now. They tell you earlier, but it's hard to get. And you see there's a bend right there. It goes like that. But then you can get the legs all the way out. Bend down, get the legs all the way out like that. And this actually flips like 180 and still covers up that space, but then you get the longer legs. I think that's a nice transformation. I think that was on the original, I'm not sure. But now you're here. Want to pull this out here. I just flip it up like that, and then you can move this out. Just leave it like that. Flip this up, move this out. Leave it like that. Now, there's little pieces in here that you can flip up. His head is loose as I don't know what, but flip that up and then you can move this down. And it kind of gets stuck right here on stuff and you got to make it go around it. It's supposed to bend, well, not that far, but you can kind of move it out like that and it covers it. It makes the body. So again, over here, move this out, move this down. I mean, you made it so it's kind of like covers the body. So now this right here, you can move out, but get this together too. You can move this all the way up and then move this down here and it pegs in right there. Same thing over here, pegs in right there. Now you want to move this around. If you notice his head is super floppy on mine. Again, with it being basically a KO, it's probably Probably just depends on the copy, but mine is super floppy. So you want to kind of pull this down, but pull this out too. And then you're moving this out here like this, moving this around. You want to get enough clearance for the head, and then you're moving this up, kind of. And then what you're doing is moving this like this, moving these down here, and you want to move this over like that and move this over here. Now you want this cone to be here in the front like that, so it fits in here. That slides down and fits like that, and that's kind of how you want it. Let me turn it to the front, and then you're trying to move all this so it gets up in there, and you can move the body like this, so you can create, it's like the waist bend, so you can create some space for yourself. Put it up in there. Then this right here moves around and goes down, and you can move this up here like that. Now this a peg, before you push this all the way down, you can peg this up into here, so it kind of keeps it together, just keeps it all together. Put that down. Starting to see, even though he has a bobblehead instead of cone head. Now we're home free. This stuff down here, pull that peg, flip it up, flip this out, and then the peg here is going to peg there, and this is all going to peg back. This is going to, you know, it's going to peg back in there. It's going to keep everything together. So you get that right there like that, and make sure this is pegged in. Then you got free range right here for the toe. Again, over here, you can do the same thing. Move that out and move this down. You actually got to move this out first before moving this down, because it's pegged in on there right here when it's up. Then you move this out, and now this gets pegged in on the same spot. Move that, move that. These pegs come out sometimes. Now just get the head down. I mean the arms down. I was looking at the head bobbling around. Get the arms down, push that up. Then you can configure this. Same thing over here. Get the arms down. Pull this fist out. And you can configure. Spin the fist around and configure. Now with the head, you need to pull this cone piece up and then push this in. It gets kind of hard because the face, when you push it out, the face comes out. Your best bet is to take it off, but I think that's what caused it to be loose when I took it off, because I couldn't. If you can see, when you push this out, let me get this out of the way. When you push this out, if you can see, it's like over past this. It should be behind that. But when you're pushing it back in, the face will come off because it's already pushed out behind that. So what you got to do is pull the face off. Unfortunately, I don't want to have to do that every time, but you do. And then you kind of slide this up in here and then put the face back on. And that way, because it's hard to put it on like this because it won't clear these two sides. Hope I'm explaining that right. And here we are. Like I said, the paint, I don't know, some parts look dingy right here. The legs and this right here looks like it's painted well, but then there's like scratches right here, scrapes, scuffs, kind of. And that's it. But this is the robot, and it does kind of look the part. I'm all right with it. I'm not sure about the wings. I can't remember what the wings look like, but the wings are high, so his articulation is definitely skewed. But then you can take his null rays and stick them on the side here. Let's see how he compares. We got a Make Toys star screen here, which is my star screen with, I think, a DS head. I think they included a head with another figure that I'll put on, and I kind of like the head better. It is a little bigger, but The other one, I think this head is too big, but the other one is kind of too small for me, so I like the bigger head. And here's a DS figure as well, so you can see the cone head is quite small, but that may track with the new MP, the newer MP, because it does look like it has the newer MP's waist. Maybe I'm unsure, but I don't know, maybe the cone heads were smaller. I seem to remember them being the same size. So let's go through articulation. You already saw his bobblehead. I actually fixed it a little bit. It probably could be fixed with maybe shoe polish, you know, or something that you know that you use, probably floor polish or whatever. But up close on his face, not the greatest face. It looks like it's, I don't know if that's a shadow. No, it's a little scratch on his nose. That seems to be where a lot of bots get scratched up, because their nose protrudes like a human's. But yeah, it looks like a little paint scratched off, so I'll probably just use one of these other faces that look more perfect, and that probably happens during transformation, so we'll see. But, and also the, like I was saying with the polish, I know exactly where it is. Like, I put it on, but it slides forward because it's a long, let me show you. Let me just do my due diligence. You see how long that cavity is? If it's back here, it's straight and it's good and tight, and that's where it was before I took it off. But it slides up, and you see how it gets wider as it goes up. I don't know why they made it like that. Maybe to take it off easier, but it doesn't sit in that cavity back there. It just doesn't. You can get it there for a brief minute. Like, I put it on backwards, so it's at the best possible spot, and that's great. And then you move it around, but as you're moving around, it slides apart. So you can see side to side, down about that much, up about that much. Not a great range. These move, so you can get them out of the way, so you can get a good range on the arm, at least 90 degrees. It does go up more, but it's not really supposed to, I don't think. So you got that. You have the bicep swivel. You can get all the way around, and it's on soft ratchets, but it hits his wing here, of course. You can you move? No, you can't really move the wing. I was hoping you could. You can move it back like this in order to get some more range, I guess, on the arm, or more poses maybe. If you're why did I think this had a waist? I don't know why. I don't know why. But yes, you can move these wings like that if you want to get more range. You got the bicep, which gets you the full range. And I think I said the swivel. You got these right here, open up, little missile pods. No waist. I just got through with that. You got individual skirts on the front, and the paint is coming off right there. It looks like that paint is really not painted well, because it looks like it's this color. The whole thing is this color, and they maybe masked it and then painted it red. That's what it looks like. And even on some of the insides, it's not painted, so you know they didn't take it apart. They probably assembled it and then painted it, which, you know, isn't the right proper way to do it. You should paint each piece, which is one of the reasons Fans Toys figures are so tight, because they paint each piece and then assemble it, and then the paint kind of makes it stick together, which I know that has its own issues. But again, this is a KO, and just tall tale signs like in here, paint not being right or coming off easily, where it's somewhere you don't even touch. You know, they probably rushed their process. So, but you do got soft ratchets. You can get out, you can get back about that much. This does go up a little bit more. I don't think I have it quite. You can get this a little bit more up, but it doesn't matter. You would have to get this, and it's still only like that, but it's not bad range. Double jointed knees, double jointed, so you get the full, you do get the full range. It does hit the backpack, but still get the full range. You got the swivel built into the top, thigh swivel as usual. I don't even know why I go over thigh swivel, because I think they're like automatically built in. So you got this where you can move the knee kind of forward more and get a good pose, or move it kind of backwards more to get a different type of pose. You got this, you got heel spur that moves individually. It's the thruster, and you do that, and pretty much it. And these move, but they only move like that, so nothing you can do there. So yeah, if you enjoyed this review, it's over, and I thank you for joining me. Do I recommend this? It is cheap, so I think it's up to you how you feel about KOs, because it's kind of on par with how a KO would feel, and the range of motion, everything that you get, the feeling of it. But it's fine though. It's not terrible, but there's just some things like the paint up here is just a miss. Like it's not painted great. Right here with that gold. It's just, you know, like I said, it's a bunch of stuff that you can tell they did a rush job. Like here, the paint bleeding a little bit. Again, all in all, I don't have any representations of the cone heads, and I'm waiting for some. I was gonna go with Make Toys, but I'm not sure if I will. But for now, I'll just use this as a placeholder until somebody else comes out with a better version. So thanks for joining me, and I will get over with you in another one.
You know, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.